You're listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.
Korea's fashion platforms just posted triple-digit growth in Japan for a second straight quarter. And a domestic fintech is raising at a 1.3 trillion won valuation before it lists. Musinsa's Japan transaction volume rose 182% year-on-year in the second quarter. Korea Credit Data is seeking over 100 billion won in pre-IPO capital. A semiconductor sensor startup just priced its listing at the bottom of its range. It's Tuesday, August 11th. Let's look at what this means for startups and entrepreneurs in Korea. Korea's domestic fashion market has stalled at roughly 50 trillion won a year, about $36 billion. Japan's runs near 130 trillion won, and China's near 550 trillion won. That gap is now setting the default expansion path for Korean consumer startups. Here's what the numbers show. Musinsa's Japan transaction volume rose 182% year-on-year in the second quarter, after a 116% gain in the first. Ably's cross-border platform added 30% more seller storefronts and 35% more listed products year-on-year in July, with peak daily volume in its summer sale up more than 35%. Korea's net apparel and bag exports in the first half reached $104.21 million to Hong Kong and $46.15 million to Taiwan, ranking second and third behind the United States. Korea Credit Data is seeking more than 100 billion won, about $71 million, in pre-IPO funding at a valuation near 1.3 trillion won, roughly $930 million. Its 2025 revenue reached 162 billion won, about $116 million, up 13.3%, while standalone platform revenue jumped 119% to 33.1 billion won, and its adjusted EBITDA loss ratio narrowed from 20% to 11%. Hatchtech priced its IPO at 23,000 won, roughly $16, and the bottom of its band, on institutional demand of 101.9121, and lists on KOSDAQ on August 25th. So what does this mean for founders building in or entering Korea? Earlier, we said a semiconductor sensor startup priced at the bottom of its range. Here's what that actually means for you. Hatchtech lifted its share inside Korean smartphone makers from 0.3% in 2022 to 43% last year, and still could not clear the midpoint, so the exit window is pricing execution risk rather than rewarding the technology narrative. The companies compounding fastest are the ones that localized operations, translation, customs, delivery, and local marketing included, which makes regional expansion a more capital-efficient next step than another domestic round. Watch Hatchtech's retail subscription on August 12th and 13th, and its KOSDAQ debut on August 25th. Watch whether Korea Credit Data confirms the size and timing of its pre-IPO round. Watch Musinsa's first Japanese offline store, planned for next year. That's today's AI Prism Founders. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI Prism is a Won IFRA award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.